Hi everybody, this is Ellie. Thanks so much for joining me today for an update on how One Book July is going for me so far. So today's July 10th, which means I've been in this guy for about a week and a little bit, and I'm really liking it. First, I want to show you what's actually changed in the setup itself. So this is my standard size in the Traveler's Company cover, and I have this in the brown. I mentioned in my last setup video that I was waiting on an order from Tokyo Pen Shop, and that order included this pen loop here, which I'm keeping my Uni-ball Signo in. This is also by Traveler's Company. It's the exact same leather and I love it. And I also had this Midori pen loop from a couple of years ago. So it's perfect. I can keep my highlighter for the month, which is this Tombow in the N89, and the pen, and they sit really nicely like that. I also had ordered a couple of inserts to try in this setup, and the one that I put in was the card file. So I still have my Kraft folder in the front with some stickers that I plan to use this month. And this is the card file that I got. I have it wrapped around my setup, and I've attached the Midori pen clip, sorry for the glare, to this file itself. So in here, I just put a couple of things that make me happy. I have my custom from Kate at Tiny Greens, and she just looks so serene and in her happy place with her planners there. One of my favorite quotes by Danielle Doby. It says, "You are a match for your mountain," and I did a simple line drawing of a mountain range. Here I have a picture of my family, a die cut from the style planner, and a couple of images that I had cut out ages ago from Real Simple. And in the back, I just did a couple of washi cards with the 5 washi tapes that I'm using this month. Oh, I lied, with the 6 washi tapes that I'm using this month. A card from Cheyenne Barton that says "You're lovely." And in the back here, I just put a sticker quote. I believe this came in a Baumkuchen order, but I'm not 100% sure. But anyways, those are the big changes in terms of setup itself. So I'm going to start flipping through and just talk about how this month has been going. I haven't filled in my index at all yet, but I do have a couple of things I could put in there. Task list, I've been crossing off my days, filling out my Calendex. I've been using my calendar for content planning, so my Instagram posts. And one of the things that I've started doing is I've started kind of drawing these little circles with my Tombow, and that way I can check off once I've actually posted, and I really like that. Even when I have an appointment, I usually will use my pen to draw a triangle to indicate that. So I've just been using the Tombow to do the triangle, and then I check that off as well. As you can see, I don't plan too far in advance for my Instagram posts. I do that once a week, and I just base it off what I'm loving, what I'm excited about, and what I've been using. So I'll do that again probably on Sunday or Monday. This is my July memories page. I wondered if I would miss using the stickers, but so far so good. I think because I've been playing around with doodles and different hand lettering, it's kind of filled that void a little bit. This pen, I was hesitant about using it because of the smear factor. It has smeared a little bit for me on occasion when I'm impatient or just forget to wait for a few seconds of dry time. But this pen is so fun to do hand lettering with, as well as regular writing. Like, I can do this type of, hand lettering with a ballpoint, but I really like how it turns out a lot better with this particular gel pen. So I'm really glad that I did challenge myself to use this for the month. And the other thing to note when I do talk about smearing is I'm really heavy-handed, so that's definitely a factor. Here are my trackers. I love having this all together. It's just really satisfying to not have to pull out other books to do the tracking and just to see it all. I also really like doing these little X's. I know that's a small thing, but with my power sheets, I was coloring in and that was fun too, but there's something really satisfying about this. So I've been doing pretty good. Not so great with my sleeping. My sleeping habits are still in the process of being adjusted. I finished Daring Greatly, so it's good. I love seeing this here. I love this little reminder from my Power Sheet stickers. It's okay to grow slow. And this is super, super functional. Nothing in my future log yet, and we'll head into the dailies. This layout is inspired by Amanda at Ink Imperfections. She has such good standard inspiration. This 2-column spread really spoke to me. Okay, let me backtrack a little and say Amanda's also the one who introduced me to 3 Years Apart, and they offer these really wonderful freebies. So the dates come on one sheet and I printed it on Tombow River paper, which was great, although I didn't realize that once you print on Tombow River paper, it takes some time to dry, which totally makes sense now that I think about it. But there was a smearing situation. Luckily, I had tried something before this, so I was prepared when I printed this one and just let it dry for a day. There might be, I don't know if it's my printer or my ink or I'm not using the right settings, but that was just my experience. So if you're printing on Tombow River paper, just be aware, especially if it's something that has a lot of ink like that. Anyways, this comes in on one sheet, and what I really, really love about it is it has the date and also the day of the week. So I made myself this little pocket to keep these in that I'm like unreasonably proud of, I think, because I'm not really super crafty. I can follow DIY for the most part, but in terms of just creating something myself, that's not really, as Robin would say, that's not really where I shine. Isn't that a lovely expression? I love that expression. Anyways, I just made a little pocket and I cut all of these out and just keep them in order here so they're ready to go. I love that. It was an extra piece of vellum I had. I just taped it and made a pocket. And then this one was just a strip. I folded it up, taped around the back, taped here to reinforce it, and that's it. A little pocket inside of a pocket. And it just comes out a little bit like that when I need to. I keep it right here, and I like having that all cut out and ready. It's just one less thing to do when I'm setting up for the week. So the way this setup works is really simple. I have my tasks and notes here underneath my date, and then on this side I do my journaling. I'm still keeping this top section for any appointments or special events or anything. I'm doing my doodle for the day, and I've also incorporated hand lettering practice because I realized that this was something that I really missed and I really enjoy. So I wasn't sure what to do for hand lettering practice, but in the past, my favorite hand lettering challenges have been from Cindy Guntarbaldo at Llama Letters. I just went back through her old ones to find something that spoke to me, and she had some Harry Potter spells, so I thought that would be a lot of fun. So the way I did that is I just wrote them out and tipped this in so that I can see it and just refer to it, because some of these spellings are a little bit magical. I used my Harry Potter washi tape from Nutmeg Arlo, and I don't remember where this kind of moon phase one is from, but it also had the silver foiling. I love this. This works really, really well. It's harder to check off now because I have put this back here, but it's not impossible. I just have to be mindful so I don't go right through the paper. And the check mark is really only so it's easier for me to find where I am. So this is from the Coffee Monsters Co. for Canada Day. It came with a blank flag, which I think is such a good idea. I kind of butchered the maple leaf there, but it's small enough that you get the general idea. And when I was doing my doodles, so again, these are from Kamo's book, How to Draw Almost Every Day. I was originally doing them just with black pen, but I really missed having a little bit of color on my pages. So what I've done is I've just chosen some pencil crayons. This is the book here, and in the book, she actually has the markers that she uses. So what I did was I went through my Arteza pencil crayons and I just tried to choose the corresponding colors or colors that I thought were similar enough. And that way they're already here for me. I don't have to do any digging through every day and trying to find out what colors to use. I really like that. I think one of the things that One Book July is really teaching me is that I like having, I don't want to say limited choices, curated. I think that's a better word. I like having curated choices that I know I can turn to and nothing beyond that. Because as much as I love all of the goodies in the planner world, there's a lot and it can be overwhelming for me sometimes. So this month, one of the, I think, best things that I've done is limited myself to certain items. So for example, the pens, the pencil crayon colors for these doodles, these stickers here, you know, even having these washi tapes, I've chosen 6 that I'm going to use this month and I don't plan on pulling any others from my stash. I just really like having choice, but also having parameters. Have a choice, but also not have too much choice, if that makes sense. I think that's probably one of the best ways that I work in general. I haven't done anything like this before in terms of my journaling. I haven't limited myself like this, but I might continue to do so in different ways going forward because there's a lot that feels kind of overwhelming in life right now, and I don't want my journaling to be one of those things. And having this little curated collection for July is something that is bringing me a lot of joy right now. So yeah, just going forward, I do my doodles and hand lettering wherever. I also have included things like notes, my video notes. Because this page is significantly bigger than the pocket size that I'm used to, I can add things like this and still have more than enough space for my journaling. The other thing I really like about having kind of the 2 columns is that I can start journaling whenever I want. When I had my page split horizontally, I would only ever start journaling at the end of the day once I knew I wouldn't need any more space for my tasks and notes. But this way, if I'm in the mood in the morning or midday, or I want to jot a couple of notes and come back to it, I can do that without worrying that I won't have enough space for this because this just continues on down the side. I love these 2 drawings, and we've been going through a heat wave here in the Toronto area, and I am super thankful for both fans and air conditioning right now. Here is my weekly reflection for the first week. Instead of putting wins for the week, which is what I was calling it, I just wrote working, not working, week 28 prep. Instead of appointments, I just did prep because I'm putting in things here that aren't appointments, like if I have a scheduled call with a friend or if we're going to have a socially distant visit or something. It's all in this section now, and tomorrow's priorities. Because I didn't do the rolling weekly this week, I used the second half of this spread to do the read-along schedule that Carrie Harling posted for One Book July. So the book is The One Thing by Gary Keller with Jay Papasan, and I just wrote down the schedule and drew in my little circles so I could check them off. I'm behind, but I have started the book, so I'm enjoying it so far, and I'm enjoying the discussion that's happening in Carrie's videos. So it's always nice to do this type of thing with a community so that there's people to talk about it with if that's what you like. Or in my case, just to hear what other people say because I haven't been participating since I'm behind. I've been brainstorming my evening routine ideas. I've left the rest of this blank because I still want to do a little more research and go back into Good Morning, Good Life and include some notes here. This is leading into this week. So for week 28, I have my rolling weekly, and then the second half of the page is going to be the weekly reflection for this week. I like this. I think it should work really well because that's more than enough space for both of those sections, and this way I don't feel like I'm wasting any pages. We had some yummy food doodles this week, which was nice. One of the things that does strike me when I look at these pages is that it's a lot of black ink. It's not as colorful as I'm used to. I always used black ink, but I would also use, I think, stickers that brought in some color. And while I'm putting in some washi tape here and there, it's still more on the neutral side. So don't get me wrong, I really like how this looks. It's just a lot of black ink. And I think the pages are a little busier than I'm used to because, well, they're bigger than I'm used to. And I am still trying to keep it consistent, and I've been drawing this line just for that visual separation. And this is all, again, just my own preference. There's no reason for the line. I just find it cleaner looking to my eye. This doodle was fun because it had 2 days together, and one day was the telescope and one day was a constellation. I drew Cassiopeia because I don't know if any of you have watched the movie Serendipity, but I watch it almost every Christmas, and as soon as I saw that we were drawing constellations, I was like, yes, that is the one for me. So that's a sweet little reminder there. And this was Thursdays. I practiced some more hand lettering. I had a lot more well, I guess I didn't have a lot more tasks. I just drew my doodle in the middle here. But this column went right to the bottom of the page for the first time, and some journaling above and below. That moves us to today, where all I've done so far is make my task list. This will be the rest of the week. I just use my Tombow to mark out my little morning routine and evening routine and check that off, and my Instagram post that will be going up on Sunday. Spoiler, it'll be my A6 Giulio. I'm really enjoying One Book July so far. I think it's just nice, like I was mentioning already, to kind of know what I'm doing and have it be so contained. I like that some of the choice has been removed because it's just one less thing for me to worry about or focus on. Like sometimes micro decisions overwhelm me, even when it's something that I enjoy as much as I enjoy planning. So this is so much fun. I love the way that it's looking. I just enjoy how every page is a little bit different, but still similar. That's my comfort zone. I'm sure that's something maybe you guys have noticed. I'm fairly consistent, even though I like to have a little bit of flexibility. And I'm really looking forward to the rest of July. I'll keep doing updates. I might do a plan with me next week, and I'll just let you guys know how it's going. I also love how much this is being scratched and marked up already, especially considering it's not really leaving my desk. Sometimes I'll take it around the house, but for the most part it does stay here, so it's great. And oh, the other inserts that I bought, like I did buy the zipper file insert that's kind of the same material, but because I'm not going anywhere, I just don't really need to carry anything with me other than what I have. And the only reason I even made these washi cards is so that if I'm journaling elsewhere in the house or outside, I don't have to come inside to get my rolls of washi tape. I only wrapped it around a few times here because I knew I wouldn't use these too much. So I've never had 2 pen loops in a setup before, so I love that too. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask down below. And if you're participating in One Book July as well, I'd love to hear how you're finding it so far. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.